I'm joined now by Ontario Liberal Party leader Bonnie Crombie, fresh off the stage here at the Ontario Liberal Party AGM in London. That must have felt pretty good being up there, all the enthusiasm.
Thank you, Wyatt. It's so great to see you. Yes, I was really elated. Part exhausted, part elated, but I think it went pretty well. They seemed to be excited in the room, delivered a great message. Less for them, more for you.
And so let me ask you, because there's obviously a lot of enthusiasm here over the course of the weekend, how do you kind of translate the success from your party base, the people here, to kind of the wider Ontario electorate?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so you saw that we've had a little bit of success in that last by-election this week, and not quite a win, but you know what? We went up 15%, which is pretty much unheard of, and we narrowed the gap to 5%, which I really believe means that we are the party that is the alternative to this government. So when people get tired of Doug Ford, which they are in droves, they will look to us as the alternative, as the only one party that can take them on. So this is more to hear of a rally cry, of kind of a homecoming for all Liberals. It's building some momentum for us, to remind them what it's all about and the changes that we have to make to Ontario, to make sure that everyone can get ahead, that everyone has an equal opportunity to succeed, and everyone has access to healthcare when they need it. And education, smaller classrooms, and money invested back in education and housing, etc.
And there's been a lot of talk about kind of the organizational side, because obviously a lot of people said in 2022, 2018, that's perhaps where some of the, mishaps were. I guess if we're looking now, there's talk of an early election potentially in the spring. A lot of people talking about how you need to have candidates ready in all 124 ridings. How can you, from an organizational standpoint, prepare for what many people say is kind of an imminent early election?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I had wanted to have about 60 candidates here with me, but I have a good problem to have. There's too much interest.
Right, yes.
And our team is busy vetting them all. And so you will see us announcing, we should be announcing, I think we'll have 20 by the end of the month, which is excellent. And we'll get into gear then. The problem is I have too many applications to be candidates, and we're vetting through them, and we're sorting through them. And, we have Campaign College on here as well. And it's really just a kind of an opportunity to build momentum and refocus us on what we need to do. I'm a new leader. I'm different. I need to give them a chance to get to know me. I need to continue to travel the province, which is why I didn't seek a seat. To allow people to get to know me and what I stand for and what my brand of liberalism is, which is different than my predecessors. So that was really important. So going forward, I'll be focused on meeting as many stakeholders as I can, meeting as many Ontarians as I can, signing on new candidates, and of course raising money. Every party has to.
And just lastly here before we conclude, because obviously, the Conservatives are leading by a decent amount, at least the polls suggest, but it's still relatively close. What's your message to kind of the average everyday Ontarian who feels maybe politically homeless right now? They're unsure of kind of where they're going to go.
The message is Doug Ford's not in it for you. He's here for his rich friends and cozy insiders, but not for average Ontarians. He doesn't have the same priorities that Ontario families have. He's concerned about bringing booze to the corner store, to the 7-Eleven a year earlier. He's concerned about closing down Ontario Place, selling off selling off Ontario Place, closing down the Science Centre. He's not worried. He's worried about bike lanes and booze. He's not worried about access to healthcare or education or building. This government has been an abysmal failure when it comes to building housing. And this is the one thing people thought, well, okay, maybe we should give this guy a chance because at least we'll get some housing built. He seems to be talking a lot about that. It was the worst April on record ever. They have not met any of their targets. This government is abysmal, and they are a failure, and people are starting to recognize it.
Amazing. Ontario Liberal Party leader Bonnie Crombie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Wyatt.